His name, Merlin.
What's going on, knights, lords, ladies, sorcerers, enchantresses, and all peoples throughout the land of Ambion? Welcome back to Merlin Weekly, where today we're talking about The Dark Tower. Not to be confused with the book series made by Stephen King, or that one movie that's based off one of the Stephen King novels that's from the series that explains the entire universe of the main universe of Stephen King's mythos. God, that's a mouthful. I'm just going to be focusing instead on this episode, which is a bit to unpack. So I'm not even going to give the synopsis. I'm just going to say, watch this and then come back. You know it's something serious if I'm saying watch this whole entire episode, then come back to this video to understand what the fuck is going on. So, if you guys heeded my thing and already went to watch the episode since there's no synopsis, or if you guys just want to hear a bunch of spoilery stuff, then let's get on with it, shall we? So, how do we kick off this episode other than reminiscing about the wrongful murder of Gwen's father to her father-in-law, with Gwen and Elian looking at the grave? Cause that's not foreboding at all. That is not saying that someone in this scene is going to die. Where, after all this is said and done, when they're trying to just ride back to Camelot all nice and easy, Morgana is there. For some reason. Like, there's no fucking reason. She's just fucking there. I don't understand. But she's there. And she decides to use some terrible CGI snakes to attack Elian, Percival, Leon, and Gawain, to distract them so that she can kidnap Gwen for the oddest torturing session I've ever seen happen. And I've seen people make a scene about waterboarding. If you've seen scenes of waterboarding, you understand what the fuck I'm talking about. So, while we're just getting treated to psychological torture that would make a lot of psychoanalysis blush and make a lot of sick individuals really, really horny for some reason, we then have to focus back on Arthur losing his shit because his wife got kidnapped, and Elian blaming himself because his sister was kidnapped because they were attacked by CGI snakes. Elian, if it makes you feel any better, at least you didn't have the bad CG of Berserk 2016-2017. Then you'd have a lot more stuff to feel bad about. If you guys don't know what that means, look up any sort of anime tubers and they'll tell you. Speaking of stuff of feeling sorry for themselves, we then have to have Merlin just try to be the narrow compass of righteousness for all these things going on, for Arthur's sake, and for the knights that are trying to search for Gwen. Because someone is destined to die, according to Queen Maeve, and the obvious foreshadowing of two important characters next to a grave site. In an episode that involves something that Stephen King's Wet Dreams wrote when he was having a nocturnal emission. Let that mental image sink in real quick, because it's that fucked up. Needless to say, though, it's just now a race to see who can get to Gwen's mind first. Morgana's waterboarding techniques involving mandrake roots, or the actual people that care about her. And then we get treated to them finally getting to the Dark Tower after many misadventures and meeting Queen Maeve, who is making me really wish I covered Tam Lin for some reason. As we then have the whole one person in this whole room of traps gets to try and save the person first, of Elian trying to save his sister, while there's a magic sword on impressive wiring techniques, by the way, just trying to kill him while he's just trying to do his best to save his sister. And while he does get the sword away, he ends up dying in the process, and Gwen has just been sobbing her eyes out because she's now lost the last remaining blood family that she has. Until she and Arthur have a kid, which oddly enough never happens. I want an Arthurian lore show that allows that to happen instead of the incest baby that actually does happen. Needless to say, though, with Gwen supposedly home, nice and safe, and everything is all nice and dandy, the big plot twist at the end is then revealed that she is now on Morgana's side. All because Morgana wanted a foot soldier inside Camelot, and so she chose the person that she wanted to have murdered most because of the vision that she had many seasons ago that could have literally been changed in any sort of direction in a smarter light to then make her the foot soldier because she wants her to feel guilty about having the crown. And making no fucking sense of the plan the more you just break it down. Like, if she wanted to keep her from getting the crown, she should have just allowed Arthur to give up his status, reveal herself to be the illegitimate child of Uther, take the crown herself. Arthur would have backed her. There would have been a lot more things going on where she could have gotten more backing if she didn't try to do things the evil way, where Gaius could have helped her. She could have found out about Merlin's secret. They could have been a good power couple and incredible team to make magic now flourish within Ambion. Uther could have died of a heart attack, making me very happy. A lot of stuff would have been a lot simpler if they just used a more adult method with this, but who am I to try and break down things of dramatic tension? And so we then have to prepare for the next episode of Gwen the Traitor. That's not the title of the episode, obviously. It's just the matter of the motif that we're going with, because also Old Man Merlin comes back in that episode. So, now that we've all heard the long, drawn-out plot summary that came with The Dark Tower, my whole feeling is this. This episode is super fucking heavy, and it feels like it's too little too late. Allow me to explain my whole reasoning before you guys just go into the comments like, but V, it looked like it was something that was really thought out and very clever. No. If they wanted clever and unique, the best way to have Morgana just literally have Gwen on her side would have been if she did this kind of technique earlier on in the series. Like her with more ghosts, with the whole plotting and scheming and whatnot, leaving Mandrake Root in Gwen's house before and after all the things. Even during the engagement, she could have just had the Mandrake Root just sap away at her and then just visit her in the night. Maybe during some stuff like she thinks it's a dream and then just coming back to her until finally when she's about to try and take over Camelot for the upteenth time, she then visits Gwen and then bam! She has a spy. She has someone with her that she can help take down Camelot as a backup in case things went wrong. That would have been a lot better in pacing, but then again, I like more organic storytelling. God, English is not my strong suit right now. But the point still remains. It's a good tactic, but too little too late. And it also goes a little bit into some small itty bitty. I'm sorry, my phone is on Twitter at the moment. I apologize. It goes through some small itty bitty problems where a lot of people should have realized, especially the knights and Arthur at this point, that Merlin being a little bit too good at his job to find things and be super competent in a way that Arthur has never thought possible for many reasons, including the fact that Merlin keeps himself secret and no one tries to piece together all the weird obscurities that happens. I think during the travel ticket to the Dark Tower, people should have been raising actual questions instead of just allowing the weird bullshit that came from Merlin's mouth, because it just seemed like a huge cop-out to just be like, oh, well, Merlin's a genius. But they never did a thing like, yes, but something's a little bit off. He's a little bit too much of a genius. That would have been a good inkling to a foreshadowing for later of just like, I've always suspected you were a wizard, Merlin. Actually, I'm a sorcerer. I always suspected that you were a wizard. It just irks me in that whole you have all these blueprints for an organic story, and you didn't fall through with it, and now it's kind of a clusterfuck of a mess. I don't like it. I can't stand it. But it's not the worst episode I've seen. No. That would be last week. That was the worst episode in Merlin, period. And I mean, even the Uther episodes were more tolerable than that episode. No. This was just irking me on a personal level. But aside from all that, it was beautifully well done to establish a brand new plot element into the whole episode formula that was going on about, did the heroes actually save the day? Psych! You got nothing, bitch. Nobody won. Everybody lost something. Elian lost his life. Arthur lost his wife. And nobody got laid. It's a fucking miracle for evil. It's one of those weird things where, yeah, you want people to win, but fuck it. It's nice to have that whole nice menagerie of evil for a change. Ha 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 ha! But we gotta just tone it down a little bit because we gotta focus for next week of the episode, A Lesson in Vengeance. I'll see you guys for that one next week. Take it easy.